Buckle up, sports fanatics. This is the Sports Chasers Podcast, your HQ for in-depth sports talk. Join host Kevin L. Warren and crew as they dissect the hottest stories, ignite debates, and bring you closer to the action. From locker room whispers to expert takes, we cover it all. It's game time, so strap in and grab a drink. The Sports Chasers Podcast starts right now.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's happening, everybody? It's another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast, coming to you live and direct, where we'll talk about all sports when it comes to the world of sports, of course, man. Before we do all that, make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the bells for all the notifications. And for those on the podcast side, those that are listening on the podcast side, that's listening to me right now in the sound of my voice, make sure you give us that 5-star review. 5-star review. Love us or hate us. Tell us how you feel about us here at the Sports Chasers, man, because we're going to do the same. Before we let's meet the crew. D-Dubs, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you, sir? Great to see you tonight, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon. How are you, sir? How you doing?
Got on his LA blue shirt. I'm not going to tell him what he looks like, but yeah.
Nah,
What's up, SA?
What's up? What up? Nah, we chilling. Shout outs to the LA folks out there. And I gotta, man, I would say shout out to the Dallas Maverick fans, man, but I think they're utter disgrace. They got treated like I don't know. I understand the love and admiration for Luka, but you know what I would do if I was the Dallas fans? Not even go up to the games. So y'all feel that way about Nico Harris? Don't even bother showing up. That's how you stick them. Don't show up.
Listen, we'll be talking about Luka's his coming home tribute. We'll be talking about that. We'll talk about that more when Ryan comes on later. We'll talk about that more. We got the hockey dude. He's gonna. I filled in for him on Monday. I gave it Ovi's his great accomplishment just due, but ain't nobody like the hockey dude. Dan, what's up? What's going on tonight, sir? How are you?
We need to hit him with the mace. Welcome back. Welcome back.
What's up? Hey,
welcome back.
We got Yankees West up there in the corner.
Yankees West.
Yankees West. Listen, the Dodgers lost a couple of games. So yeah, they lost a couple of games. Actually, look out for the Giants. The Giants playing well in the beginning of the season. I'll be running down MLB here. And it's early in the season, man. Hey, shout out to all those that's in the comments. Shout out to Debbie. Shout out to everybody. That's we're gonna have a good time tonight. As you can see, we riding through space, So make sure, put your seatbelt on. It's gonna be a good episode tonight, man, as we talk about sports. I love what we do. I love how we all get together, and sometimes we might have difference of opinions, and that's fine, and that's what makes the world go round. And I always say I don't never want to be in an echo chamber, man. So sometimes we might agree, sometimes we might not agree. And that is A-OK. Long as we talk about the world of sports and sports is covered, give it its just due. So with that said, we're going to rock on with the news. You know what we're doing on our Thursday night live show. This is our flagship show, man. We've been rocking with this show for the last 6 years. The last 6 years. We turned on YouTube one day. I guess it started during COVID, and we turned it on. We was like, oh, man, we can actually do this with a video, because we was actually doing it with an audio app, and it was kind of weird because couldn't see one another. So, but I'm glad we was able to kind of discover that by accident during the COVID session, during the COVID thing, and we're here. So we're definitely here tonight, man. So let me go to the news here. I had it up here.
While you're looking for that,
go ahead.
D-Dub, if you want to direct the Mavs fans to an example of how to not show up, just direct them to the Pittsburgh Pirates.
I got something for them too.
Because I saw the other day that.
Go ahead. You might be talking.
Posted a picture of, hey, here's my $20 seat at the Pirate game, and he was probably 25 rows from the field, like a little bit like between the catcher and first base, like 25 rows back. And they showed like you could see the stands like
Empty.
I think they had 8,000 at the game, and
8,000.
they were scattered amongst the entire building. And
Dan.
I think that it's like 40 some thousand it holds.
Yes, Dan, you hit a point because you wasn't here the last time when I suggested that we was talking about Tampa Bay, and Tampa Bay, the owners not wanting to, they put back the roof back on the stadium, and they playing in George Steinbrenner Stadium in Florida, right? And that holds about 10,000 people. And I said, you know what? Maybe that's what these stadiums need to go to hold in, since you can't fill in the stadiums. Go back, shrink them down.
They'll never do that.
Or you could always do hey, after the second inning, you could sit wherever you want. So
that's true too.
So you could fill in, the sections that you will always see on TV, like down the lines behind the plate. If the outfield is empty, so what?
Kev, you said it. They'll never do that, but it looks horrible on TV.
It's bad for business. Yeah,
you understand what I'm saying? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks horrible when you don't. That place is not filled up. You got 40,000 and it's not filled up. What you gonna drape it with black curtains?
Or do what they did in COVID and just put cutouts in the seats.
Yeah, with you smiling and waving. Hey.
Yeah, it's crazy. You found
I got it. Well, let me start off with MLB then. MLB, and this is from Bleacher Report, and this was about 2 hours ago from Timothy Rapp. He basically says here, Major League Baseball and team owners have reportedly initiated discussions about introducing both a salary cap and a salary floor in the upcoming collective bargaining agreement, CBA negotiations. The aim is to address the growing financial disparities between teams. However, the Major League Baseball Players Association remain firmly opposed, viewing such measures as detrimental to players' earnings and market dynamics. Some of the key points I wanted to point out: the salary cap and the floor proposal. MLB owners are considering implementing a salary cap and cap to limit maximum team spending, and a salary floor to ensure minimum spending. This is what Dan Orsby talking about his Pirates, aiming to promote competitive balance across the league. And I'm gonna let Dan get his first on this one. Players opposition. The MLBPA argues that a salary cap would artificially suppress players' salaries and limit earning potential, while a salary floor could be used as a leverage to enforce a cap. Historical context: the players' unions have historically resisted salary caps, notably leading to the 1994-1995 strike when a cap was proposed. Current financial disparities are teams like the LA Dodgers and the New York Mets have significantly higher payrolls compared to smaller market teams, intensify calls for financial regulations. Findings I got here: competitive balance concerns. The lack of a salary cap has led to significant disparities in team payrolls, raising concerns about the fairness and competitiveness of the league. Potentially for labor disputes, the introduction of a salary cap and a floor could lead to a significant labor dispute, including potential strikes or lockouts, as witnessed in past MLB history. Some of the impacts in future negotiations. The ongoing discussions set the stage for contentious negotiations in the next CBA, with the potential to reshape the financial landscape of MLB. Dan, I'll give it to you first. You know all about this.
Oh, I'm all for. Well, kind of for it, but a little bit tweaked, so to speak. I'm all about the floor. You got to get these teams, to spend some money.
Correct.
Right now, the way I believe it's set up is they have a fictitious number, and if you go over that number, which you can, you just got to pay a tax on that.
Correct.
And depending on what level you're at, depends on how much you got to pay. So you could, in Major League Baseball and the Players Association, they could get together and be like, all right, this is going to be the floor, X percent of the, So basically, you got the teams that spend a gazillion dollars, your Yankees, Mets, Dodgers, yada, yada. Then you got the other teams at the bottom that don't spend any money, aka the Pirates. But you find that medium, and that's kind of the floor.
Right.
So in the players, that doesn't hinder them. That makes these other teams pay money. So that means more players are going to get more money. And then not a hard cap for the ceiling is what I would suggest. Whatever the percent is that you're going to go with, that this is how much you can spend. And if you really, truly want to, feed into kind of like if you're watching like hockey, they have a hard cap and a ceiling. So it's like you got to fit these guys in. But if you kind of do what they're doing now with the ceiling, maybe just bump up what the percentage that you pay in tax on that. Because, I mean, look at the Dodgers. I mean, they're paying, probably, over $300 million?
I'll get it here for you in a second. They're paying a lot of money.
Because it was last year, I think it was over $300 million. And then they signed all these guys this year. But hell, they're not getting paid until like 2050.
Right.
So, that's the other thing, how they're dodging, paying the luxury tax, is they're deferring all this money, aka Bobby Bonilla. But I think if you do a hard floor, make teams spend a certain amount, pick whatever percent you want to be the ceiling, and then if you go 10% over, then it's this tax. If you go 20% over, then it's this more tax, and then you funnel that money back into the teams at the bottom. Because if they don't want to spend money, well, now you're getting the tax money to pay your players to become, make the league more even or balanced, whatever.
So it's not going to stunt the growth of players making.
Yeah, you can still
money.
pay a million,
right,
$100 gazillion dollars, like what? It's like
Vladdy Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, something like 15 years.
14 years. 14 years, 500
$500 million, dog.
Yeah.
So,
and I said, ain't no way I'm paying a player. I mean, not paying, but it's the years that has me.
Yeah, because there's probably no chance in hell that he's playing all 15 of them.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm saying is you could still pay all these players that money, but to deter going bananas like that, then the percentage you're over the cap, every 5-10% it goes up more and more and more. So you get these teams that are way over the cap, aka Dodgers, Mets, then they pay a healthier tax. Players still get paid. More players get more money because they're making the lower teams pay. But, that's when it comes to change, and because once you kind of get into that, it's hard to get back out. You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, we're going to try this for a few years.
Which is why I think the MLB, the Players Association, is going to probably most likely balk at all of this stuff.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Once again, you already got the advantage. Ain't no way in the world I'm trying to give that up just because you guys don't know how to market, put plays, put fannies in the seat. I don't know what it is. Y'all don't want to do what it is y'all want to do. The smaller markets, I don't know. The smaller markets get the players, man. They do a good job in how you say
developing talent.
Grooming, developing talent. And then after they get up to a certain level, then they leave. So what is it? What is that about? What is it about? What is it that y'all could pay them, or do you just choose not to pay?
Well, AKA, my team, like you see it all the time,
right?
Like when they're playing the second to last season on the contract, they're usually getting dealt at the trade deadline. And it'll be very interesting for me when it comes time for Mr. Paul Skeens to get his next contract. will he still be there, and will they pay him? Because they already got planes flying by with a little ticker tape thing behind it saying, "Sell the team, Bob."
Right. So
You know,
let me just ask this question. I might be. Is it that the Pirates don't have the money?
I just don't think that's their
Or they just choose not
business.
to?
Well, it's like their
The-
business, the way they
Their business plan.
the
That's
business
the
plan model.
Model.
That like we can't spend all this money. Like if you look a few years back when they actually made like the play-in game or the wild
When it was
card
good,
game,
yeah, a couple years ago. Yeah.
and you see the stadium, that place was absolutely packed full of people, and it was bonkers. And
What a difference when winning.
if you put a good product on,
What
the
a
field,
difference. Yeah.
they got a lot of diehard fans in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
and they just they won't pay anybody any significant amount of money. They will deal them for prospects when it comes time, the year before or the year of their contract expiring, and you see that almost all the time with them. I mean, Garrett Cole, he left. We could go on and on and on with all the players that they traded.
Garrett
I remember
Cole,
I was back in Pittsburgh visiting, and it was a late night game because they were playing San Diego, and I believe it was Adam Frazier. The year he was like he finished second, I think, in the batting average race, and it was like sixth inning, and they were batting. They got them out. So it's the Pirates' turn to come back out in the field, and they got somebody else playing second base. And I'm like, well, he's gone. My dad's like, what? And I go, Frazier, the second baseman, he's not out there. I said, he didn't get hurt. He didn't bat last inning. He's fine. I said, how much you want to bet they trade him? And then, as soon as they start the inning, the announcer's like, hey, I don't see Frazier out there. I didn't see him pull anything. And next thing you know,
gone.
Like the next inning, Adam Frazier has been traded,
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was to San Diego.
Wow.
But that's because he was having a great year and his contract, was coming up, and they weren't going to pay him. I mean, the money that he deserved. They'll pay people, but it's not big contracts.
So, Kev, getting back to this article, I mean, are they just wasting their breath here? I mean, we keep on going around and around.
Listen, as the article,
we've seen this before. This is nothing new.
We've seen this movie before with MLB and the Players Association, and I've been on record on this show saying that the Major League Baseball's Players Association is the strongest union out of all the four major sports unions, and they have zero. Let me say this: zero problems of like, I'm going on strike. I'm good. Look what they're getting paid now. So maybe not compared to some of the guys that are just out of the minor leagues and things of that nature, but they have zero problem. 94, 95, that's the first time they poo-pooed the World Series, which was a devastating effect to them.
Yeah.
Because what happened, right? A lot of things happened in that. If you go back, if you do your history, 94, 95, the Expos was going to win the World. The Expos probably would have won the World Series. And
they was having a phenomenal year. If I'm not
who
mistaken.
knows if they moved to Washington to become the Nationals?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of dominoes have fell. And then baseball does what? They take a blind eye to what? PDs. And now we had the summer of love between McGuire and Sosa, and all is well with baseball. And oh my God! And then, when they're saying, they shouldn't have been taking it, and oh my God, they're clutching their pros. How dare they take that? Now they want to, now they want to just point fingers at MLB, which y'all was full of junk and full of crap anyway when y'all did that. So there was a lot of things that came out with that strike. If there was a strike now, who knows what happened? I think baseball's having a good momentum. When it comes, they're having a good momentum, and for them to break that momentum. Hopefully they come to some kind of thing. Hopefully they listen to Dan. Hopefully they listen to Dan like, hey, take Dan's model and pay Dan though if you do take his model, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Take his model. And so everybody can be happy. Y'all want to pay Vlad Guerrero $500 million for 14 years? Have at it. But you got to make the teams like the Pirates, the Oakland A's, or excuse me, you can't even call them nothing. That's a shame what's going on in Sacramento, whatever they're playing at. Hold on. I know I'm going off a little bit, but what's going on in Sacramento, Oakland with the Athletics, a professional Major League Baseball team, and they have to have their press room and like some tool shed. I was looking at it yesterday. I was like, what is going on? What is going on? But I'll say that for the baseball thing, but I was listening to my man that comes on Mad Dog Radio, man. He had a great point about why this is going on with the A's. But to get to your point, D-Dubs, the Players Association, they have zero. It's like, okay, that's what you want to do. We'll strike because they get paid more out of, for per players. They prominently get paid more than the other four sports. I would say it's MLB, the NBA. Well, we mean the NBA because they have less players, but they kind of give out crazy contracts to subpar players, right?
That's their problem with that, but with the NBA. The numbers don't match the body of work.
Not their only problem, but
they got several problems, Mike.
That's one of their problems.
Welcome.
Mike,
yeah.
Time for the nonsense tonight.
Yeah. But it's one of the problems. The contracts don't match up to the talent, and everybody can see it. It's like, come on, dog. You definitely overpaid, but go ahead.
Right, and then it will be the NHL. So I like you. If they do strike, the Players Association, I think will have zero problem. I don't think they want to because there's momentum. Because you don't want to repeat them 94, 95.
The longest strike in 95, right? That was the longest strike.
They canceled the World Series. No World Series.
Mm-hmm.
So, another generation, and they are very Tony. My man, he used to be a Tony Clark. He's a ex Detroit Tiger. He's the union president, union boss. And anytime he brings it up, they like new. So that's that on that. Let me break down some Masters stuff real quick. The Masters is going on down there in Augusta. There you got the opening round, and Justin Rose, he's got he's 7 under. His stellar round positioned him 3 strokes ahead of his closest competitors, including defending champion Scotty Scheffler. Rose's round was characterized by a series of birdies and strategic play, setting a strong foundation for his pursuit of his first Master title. Justin Rose's performance, like I said, he was 65 under. Rory McIlroy, everybody's looking for Rory to win. McIlroy, he's the darling now, has a mixed round, reaching 4 under before encountering difficulties, including a double bogey on the 15th hole, ultimately finishing at even par.
He's the favorite. Or is that the Scheffler?
No, Scheffler's the favorite, but Rory's like the darling now. You know what I'm saying? There's no, Tiger's not playing. And so everybody's kind of like pulling for Rory because he's the darling. I don't think he won a Masters. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I had to look that up. He may have won. I had to check it. I had to check it out. Veterans like Fred Couples in his 40th Masters appearance, he shot at 1 under, and he's at 71, highlighted by an eagle on the 14th hole. Rose's record-breaking lead by leading after the first round for the 5th time. Rose set a new Masters record previously held by Jack Nicklaus. The leaderboard features a mix of seasoned champions and emerging talents, indicating a highly competitive tournament. And some of the conditions down there in Augusta and Georgia, it's favorable scoring conditions allow players to capitalize in post-low rounds. So shout out to those playing the Masters. There's day 1 out there at the Augusta, one of the premier golf event of the year. So, go ahead, Dan.
I was just going to say, has anybody seen anything from the Masters? Like, I know they did like the par 3 thing on Wednesday, and they had the golfers had their kids out, and they were playing on the course. And you were talking about Rory, His daughter sunk a putt that I think if the 4 or 5 of us, the Sport Chaser crew went out onto the green and had a bucket of balls each that we would never make. Like it was, I forget what hole it was on, but she was above the hole. And mind you, the club is as big as she is because she got to be like maybe 4 or 5. And, Dad's coaching her and then she just taps this thing. And I kid you not, this thing started out like you thought it was, hey, it's just going to go 2 inches and stop. But it just kept rolling. And the other guy that was with Rory and with his kid, he comes over, he's looking at the line. They're both looking in line. He's looking at like, she got this. And it was probably a 25-footer. And that thing just rolled right up and bloop, dropped in the cup. And like everybody that was, patrons watching or whatever, everybody was clapping. And right. I think she was in shock. Like the reaction of everybody kind of took her off guard. Like she didn't realize, how cool that was. But it was something really cute. And like I think they had a couple hole-in-ones on the par 3 challenge that I saw.
Was it on TV? It was on ESPN, or did it?
I just probably the Golf Channel. I just caught some highlights. And I want to shout out Minwoo Lee. He's tied for 11th. This dude actually watch him. He plays Call of Duty.
That's how you know him, Dan.
I shit you not. The one dude that's an ex-COD pro that I watched play Warzone during the day. He'll come on every once in a while and hop in and play with him. And he plays on a laptop and he's nasty. He's so good.
He play on a laptop?
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know if he got a computer, a regular PC yet, but like when I first saw him come on there, he'd be like, I think he hooks it to a monitor. So he plays on the monitor, but uses the keys on the laptop. But yeah, he's
boy, these young kids now, boy, they're talented, man.
He's just as good at that as he is at golf.
Yeah.
Hey man, shout out to Dan.
It's crazy. You watch some of these guys, they play with a lot of people that in the sports world, the music world, and all that kind of stuff. That people that you don't really think would have played like video games type thing, and you're like, oh man.
Speaking of which, I know we're kind of not freestyling here. We never, sometimes we freestyle.
Okay.
Hey, VLAC, man, where you at, man? Speaking about,
I seen VLAC in a minute.
Yeah, VLAC, where you at, man? So we can do some COD stuff and some content for that, man. Dan, I think we've been, it's time for us to do something about that, man. Talk about that, give the people what they want as far as that, because I actually hear about doing something for MLB, and I think you and D Dubs is like, hey man, that's a copy and paste, man. There's really nothing to really talk about.
Yeah. That's all they do.
Oh, y'all got to do the show? How y'all feel about it? Y'all ain't liking it?
I didn't get it because they've been doing the copy and paste thing. How do you feel about it?
I didn't get the new one yet. I enjoyed the last one, but that was my first time. I mean, y'all been PlayStation, so y'all have always had it. So like, it just came to Xbox maybe like 3 years ago, and I was like,
really?
Well, they just gave it to Xbox like 2-3 years ago. So like, I played the last one and I enjoyed it.
Let me tell you, that's probably the best actual game.
Realistic
out of all of them.
Okay,
probably
I miss 2K Baseball. 2K Baseball was the best.
I don't remember 2K Baseball.
Yeah.
2K Baseball was tough. That's when ESPN was still putting their name on video games.
Yeah.
Let me tell you that ESPN game with what's his name?
Terrell Owens on it.
Football NFL. Oh, absolutely, best football game ever.
And then that's when they came with this foolishness of letting it be monopolized and EA getting all the exclusive rights. And I think that's so wrong because that lessens competitions, man. That
exactly.
That's all they did. Right, and all they did was keep on copy and pasting from next roster to roster. It's like ain't no way in the world.
And Dan will tell you, like Dan plays online. I don't think Dan plays some of that, but what's the feature when you all you want to do is model to the people that's playing for I don't do that. I just play a season, or I play
like a general manager mode or whatever.
No, I'm talking about with the money and all that stuff, and you're playing online against one another. What's
Like-
that?
like-
The all Madding thing. That's
Like wagers.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I hope I'm wrong. You Madden players don't get mad at me, because I don't play it like that.
Oh, they hate the game too. They hate the game too.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
Nah,
complaints.
like I got a homeboy who play, and they hate the game. They just.
I didn't buy it this year. I didn't buy it last year. I
didn't buy Madden last year neither. They just put it free on EA Play, so I'll play it now.
I was gonna say,
that's right. I'll wait for the free.
I bought college football. I bought that when it came
out.
Yeah, college football. Shout out to college football. They got it right. They did a lot of things on there, and I bought that, and it was very, very good.
I'll say they had a good start. It's a couple things they got to fix, but it's a good start. Especially
they should never have left.
So
they should
bingo.
They should never left.
Bingo.
Because they had it. They had everything correct. They should never left. But
it's like college hoops. They need to bring that back. But
yep.
I was about to say the same thing. Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was gonna tell Mikey. Do you have the Game Pass or thing on Xbox?
Yeah, on Xbox, yeah.
Because a lot of times the EA games, like last year's Madden, you probably get play it for free now.
Yeah, that's what I do. I wait. If I'm not gonna buy it, I just wait till it come out free.
Yep.
That's how I started. Now, look, I watch soccer now because of EA Play. Because FIFA was up there.
Okay. All right. So this is our esports segment, by the way.
yeah.
Nah, man, we still playing video games and stuff like that. And like I said, me and D-Dub's always been a Sony people. Dan's on the computer, and Mike and his peoples, they always been Xbox ever since I know Mr. Mills there.
Xbox.
Well, that's I use the Xbox. They have the app for the PC,
right?
So I play the Xbox games.
That's right.
The PC.
You told me that. So, but let me move on here. The NFL. DA would be so happy with this article right here. The NFL. This was 3 hours ago from CBS Sports from Jeff Kerr. He says the NFL fires 3 officials, relegate them to college ranks in an unprecedented move, per the report. The NFL has dismissed the following officials. They just like this was.
They put their names out. That's crazy.
Umpires James Carter, line judge Robert De Lorenzo, and down judge Robert Richardson. Due to performance-related issues in an unprecedented move, the league has reassigned them to officiate in the NCAA Power 5 college football conferences.
Did a perp walk on them.
This action reflects a shift toward greater accountability and the performance-based evaluations within NFL officiating. Some of the things to point out here: James Carter is his second year. Robert De Lorenzo, he's a third-year line judge, and Robert Richardson, this is his first year down judge. Reassignment: all 3 officials has been reassigned to the Power Conference of college football. The NFL is emphasizing a data-driven performance evaluation for officials. The league is focusing on improvement over the course of a season when deciding whether to retain or advance officials. The NFL is moving toward a culture of merit-based performance, eliminating favoritism. Oh, so you're admitting that there was something wrong? Okay, yeah, but when we said something, there's nothing wrong. But let me just read on. I'm the moderator. This approach aims to enhance officiating standards and accountability. The NFL's decision to reassign underperforming officials to college football represents a significant change in its approach to its officiating. And they're using data, and they got a new culture. I'll give it to Mike Mills. Your thoughts on the NFL putting out report cards on people now?
I like it. It's a good start. But you went and got this 3rd year, 2nd year, 1st year guy. Now, that's cool and all, but they ain't been messing up games. They maybe in a little slate of time, they probably made a few screw-ups. But I want to know about, where was the guy who called Dez Bryant not a catch? Where's the guy who said Calvin Johnson didn't get a touchdown? Where are these people at? I need y'all to get, where's the people who messed up that call in the Super Bowl and said the tight end was out of bounds? I think on Philly. Yeah, when they said Goddard was out of bounds when they lost that Super Bowl. Where's he at? I want y'all to get some of these big names and walk them the hell out. I don't want these little guys. This is cool. All
He's
right,
a small fish, huh, Mike? It's a small.
Yeah, I want
these
the
are peddlers.
I want
These are not hustlers. These are not the hustlers. These are the peddlers.
Yeah,
the corner boys.
Yeah, I want the one who gave you the work. I want to know who showed
Who gave you the work is why.
These little guys is cool. All right, I like it. You getting them out of here. It's a little wild that you put their names out there, but okay, that's what we doing. Then I need you to get everybody.
That's right.
Y'all out here getting these Jonte Porters when Terry Rozier's still out here. I need y'all to do better.
I need the hustlers, not the peddlers, my man.
D-Dubs, go ahead. What you got on this one?
He said it right, man. But I find it amazing that they saying that they got a problem. But when people were saying you got a problem, it's no problem.
No problem. No problem.
No problem.
Just bending what we talked about on the phone yesterday. Bending reality.
Bending reality. The how do we say it? The universe.
Yeah.
You guys, this is like the Spider-Man universe. This is what they do. This is the universe, man. So we live in the universe of I could go down the line, but yeah, NFL. I mean, I appreciate you trying, but we've been telling you there's a problem. There's a problem, but I guess now you walk to your own beat, and you want to say it now. So cool, you get them. Yeah, I want to know who's the officials that said Buffalo. Josh Allen wasn't. Was it these guys here? I want to know who's those guys. Who said that was the first down? Yeah.
Who said that wasn't the first down? Word. Where he at?
Yeah. Where those guys at? Where's that guy at? But good start. I appreciate it. I'm poking it, but I'm serious too at the same time. I should clean this up. And there's incentive. I agree. Merit based. Hey, you guys who's doing these calls and making calls, man, you screwing up, you get sent down. And let's rotate these guys out and get the best of the best and put them in there so they can call these games, man.
I'm with it. Dan, you had something?
I was just gonna say, kind of along the lines with everybody else, they kind of went for the low hanging fruit here. The people that have the less experience are probably the ones that are going to make mistakes, obviously. But like we were saying, where's the line judge that doesn't throw a flag every single snap on the tackle for the Chiefs with the false start?
That's a good one. Yeah, yes.
I forgot about
that guy. Yeah.
He's farther back than Mahomes is when the ball gets hiked.
They running the wishbone, Dan. They running the wishbone over there.
But they never called the guy false starting. Literally every snap. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's great that they're finally saying, hey, we're going to try to clean this up and hold people accountable. But, but at the end of the day, what is it? The one umpire, like they put up the record of the quarterback when somebody's refereeing their game.
Right.
And, they're like 9-1. It's like, it's crazy. Like that stats like that even exist, that people look at it that way. Hey, this guy's going to be the referee. I'm betting on, so-and-so, team to win, because they always win when he referees his games. But they need to clean it up. And, like we were saying, you went after the low hanging fruit. Well, let's be honest about some of these other ones that aren't so great, or implement some kind of system where they get more training. Like we've all been saying, that needs to be a full-time job. Like, you're the referee of the NFL. We're going to pay you year round, and that's going to be your focus. You just don't fly in on the weekend, ref a game, and fly back home and go to your job on Monday.
Well, a lot of these guys are like lawyers, retired guys. They've had prominent jobs and stuff like that. And I'm with you, Dan. I think this is full-time job. You should be like officiating should be your thing 24/7. Well, not 24/7, but like a job, man, because it requires you. It requires a lot. It's bang bang.
referee sports,
whatever. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, basketball, you know, they're always crying. Luka always crying about something, man. So you want to make sure the rest is right about that. Baseball, you know, now they're finally implementing a box because they're just so sick of the umpires, you know, DA and people like DA screaming, "Hey, there's a box there, man, and the ball's a strike."
Use the box.
Use the box. I'm being real nice when I say that. Hey, NFL, you are very fortunate and blessed that he's not on tonight, man, because this probably would have been a 40-minute segment, man, because he definitely would have got on you, man. But just wait for the clips. He'll get you. But you know, the NBA, the NHL, I'm pretty sure the NHL, that's hard, Dan. You know, as you would say, that's hard to referee a game. What is there? 3 officials on the ice? If I'm
4.
Okay.
Two that call the penalties and 2 linesmen for the offsides.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. So and hockey, you know, is fast speed. And of course the NFL. And you know, I just called them on, man. So just, you know, if you know better, do better. That's just my thing when it comes to the referees in any sport. So, you know, that's what I got on that. Let me go to this last article. I thought hopefully Ryan can come back and answer some questions on this one. NBA Europe is seemingly a gaining momentum. Here are the key factors that could shape the league's success. This from Yahoo Sports. NBA Europeans expansion plans. The NBA is exploring the creation of a European league, possibly in the collaboration with FIBA, featuring a 16-team format. EuroLeague positions the existing EuroLeague views the NBA expansion as a potential threat to the tradition and unity of European basketball. EuroLeague officials have expressed concerns about fragmentation and confusion among fans, commercial opportunities. The NBA believes that Europe's basketball market is a underdeveloped commercially and sees an opportunity to professionalize it, the game further, creating a larger commercial prospect and attracting significant investments. Some of the challenges they got is integrating NBA-style operations within Europe. Basketball framework poses challenges, including aligning with existing leagues, respecting local tradition, and addressing logistical issues that respected local tradition. That's when you go aboard, you're not in the US. You go ahead and play. You're gonna play in those people's countries if you want to. But the NBA interest in Europe reflects a strategic move to tap into a growing market with a deep talent pool. The successful expansion would require careful navigation of existing European basketball structures and a collaboration with local entities. The initiative could lead to significant changes in the European basketball landscape, potentially affecting current leagues and current clubs. And some of the talent, the highlight, the NBA acknowledges they increasing prominence of international players, with the recent MVPs being predominantly from outside the U.S. As we look at Joker. Collaboration with FIBA, discussions are ongoing between the NBA and FIBA to explore the possibility and the feasibility of a European league. EuroLeague caution. EuroLeague officials warn against potential fragmentation of European basketball and emphasize the importance of preserving the sports tradition. So they got some traditions over there. This summer, and that's pretty much it, how that story went on. Mike Mills, your thoughts on the NBA looking like they want to expand to Europe?
I don't know if they should try to do a whole league because it's a lot of Europe. And like you said with the article, it's a lot of logistics, the flying the teams here and there. And are you doing like a country team? Or are you doing it like in place of the Olympics? Like, what are you trying to do? What is your end goal? Now, if they was to do like, you know how FIBA has the Club World Cup? If they did something like that, you take each team, you take a best team from whatever team won the country, and you do a league style tournament. I can see them doing that over the summer if you want to try to tap into Europe, but a whole league is like crazy because you got issues with this one over here with player empowerment, your bad refs, the people point shaving, because it ain't came out over yet, but that's coming. So
PD taken? Go ahead.
Yeah, they just got a lot of issues with it. And then, like, yeah, they just And the way they foul and play over there, that crying and shit not gonna. No, they're gonna. Yeah, it's gonna. It's a lot of stuff they got to figure out.
I agree. I concur.
Your thoughts on the NBA?
Yo, man. I mean, they even get this stuff right over here in the States, and we, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I think I could be wrong. I'm just from the outside looking in. I don't think too many people are happy about the current style and the current how the NBA is here in the States. So, you know, I mean, I guess you could go over there and try to you know, if the fans is craving for it over there, but you know, I don't know.
We don't even have our minor league system set up. Like, what is the true function of the G League?
Yeah.
Nobody understands it. You send some people back and
you send
forth.
them up. You send them down.
Sometimes you on a 10-day. You only got this amount of games.
Yeah.
You don't even have that situated. So you're gonna go have some kind of league at a professional level, a top level league over there, and you can't even get the 1-2 league shit here, right? Yeah.
Well,
and what does that mean for them when they over there? What's the goal? The goal is to get over here to the States because are we the better? What is it?
Or
is that gonna outsource LeBron James for a year? What are you gonna do?
Yeah, right. Yeah. We're gonna put tariffs on all the players. I mean,
well, you guys make a couple of good points, man, of what's the functionality of the league. Is it going to be, like you said, is it going to be some developmental stuff? Or they, you know, it sounds like they want some pro level stuff over there. Okay, but what does that mean? Like you said, D-Dubs, is that vying?
I mean, there's a lot of players, man. We got a lot of players in this. There's a lot of players that play basketball here.
And they said Europe. They didn't say Greece or Germany or Italy. So they said Europe.
All of Europe.
What teams from where you're going to put 2 teams from each country? What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to figure that out?
I mean,
we can't even get it to Seattle again, and y'all want to go to Europe.
Hello.
What are we talking about?
Man, the NBA always get a beating on this show.
Yeah, man.
Because we love it so much. We love it so much that it pains us to see them bump their head against the wall.
I agree, Mike. I don't want a war with the NBA. I just want y'all to get right, man. I don't understand. When I saw this article the other day, and like I said, I try to get thought-provoking sports articles, and the guys will tell you, I do not share this with them. This is in real time. I'm reading this to them. So sometimes they're like, what? You can't be for real. Because all the links will be in the description, by the way. But when I read this, I was like, well, okay, I got you. And I had those same questions. Is this going to be a developmental league? Is this going to be pro? And Mike, I'm like you. Is this some FIBA? Is this going to be some summer thing where, you know, all the guys gather up? And that would be cool, right? Mm-hmm. You know, every 2 years they do that.
The World
Championship Cup or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
Are you gonna put a franchise in Paris, in Rome, in Athens, you know, all of Europe, in Madrid? You know, that's why going back to the NFL, I wish the NFL, as part of a developmental league, they would go back to Europe and do that. And there were some reasons why that didn't work out. And I think ultimately the NFL is probably going to take over the what's that's playing now that the Rockets over, the USFL or whatever the league name is that's playing now in the spring
football. Yeah,
the spring football. I think eventually the NFL will probably grab that and hopefully try to make that into some kind of minor league system too for the spring,
or summer league,
spring league. So Dan, your thoughts on the NBA expanding? Dan whip dark. Okay.
Yeah. That's his thoughts, and I don't blame him though. I don't blame him. Oh, there he goes. I'm sorry, Dan. Sorry.
No, I'm good.
I didn't mean to talk for you. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. No, let me move on to the next story. I think that's all I got, man, when it concerns the news, man. But yeah, that's what the NBA. Brian was trying to get on. I think he's having some technical difficulties, and hopefully he will definitely get on here in a second. Major League Baseball. Let me go to Major League Baseball. Major League Baseball is on the way. We talked about it a little bit earlier. and not too many things is going on. It's the third week that's going on, and this is the power rankings according to CBS. You got the Dodgers. They started 8-0, but they got dethroned from the top, and they lost the series to the Phillies. And the Phillies now are the number one team. The Phillies, with their 7-2 record, managed to win 2 out of 3 games against the Dodgers, and they're at the top of the heap when it comes to the power rankings.
Oh, I got one for you though. When you finish there, I'm talking about Major League Baseball. That was one of the things I wanted to mention. The Pirates again doing some pirate stuff. They removed the Roberto Clemente a tribute.
I was going to mention that the other night. Go ahead.
And over there in right field, and they removed it to put some
an ad,
some drink. And the family's upset about this because
they didn't even tell him. Junior was like, "Yeah, Dad, y'all didn't even give us a call. I had to look on TV and see this tropical drink that y'all got on there." So bad move by the Pirates doing pirate things.
Bad PR move, man, and that they need to get that correct. Get that correct ASAP in a hurry. That's a legend. You talk about a legendary player for organization. I think they need to get that right. But that's all I got.
Gotcha.
It has been replaced back already.
Well, they heard the people, and
they did.
Because I absolutely had that, and for whatever reason I didn't talk about it on Monday. But
they will restore it. Okay, sound back in right field wall. Good for you. There's nothing else for me to talk about. Pirates president Travis Williams said on Sunday he takes responsibility for the Rasan's removal and will be re-added to right field. So kudos to them.
I mean, that's like going to Yankee Stadium and removing number 3 and 2 and just putting a soft drink there.
Yeah.
Wawa. Come to Wawa.
Hey, we don't need Jeters and roof number there. We're gonna put Arizona tea there. Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, there's some things you just you can't get wrong. That's just like can't get that wrong.
Nah, you definitely can't, man. So, but going back to the rankings there, I think that's all I got when it comes to. It's still early. When it comes to the hold on one second. You got the Phillies, you got the Dodgers, the Rangers, Giants. Giants are playing well. The Padres came out the gate smoking. They're 10-3. The Yankees, Judge, he started off hot, but now he cooled down a little bit. Mike Mills, Mets, 8-4. They're doing well.
And just remember, I'm sorry. I said just remember when these teams start out hot, it really for them to carry it over, they really got to stay hot. From right now, I say towards the what's that? The All-Star game?
Yeah, All-Star weekend. Yeah, All-Star game. July. Yeah.
Give yourself that. So if you do have a problem down the stretch, you can still maintain. So, shout out to all these teams that started off fast. Just hopefully you can maintain it because that's where the problem becomes. After that, after you get over that All-Star break, that's when it goes. Either you're going to keep your foot on the pedal or you stumble and fall. So
gotcha. Thank you, D-Dubs. Ryan, what's going on, sir? How are you tonight?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Man,
what up?
We're doing good, man.
It's good.
We're gonna move on to we did Major League Baseball. Dan's got hockey. Dan, what you got? Like I said earlier, I gave Ovi the justice I can do, but nobody can do it better than the hockey do. So I'll give it along to Dan. Dan, take it away.
Well, first off, I want to give your boys credit. After they basically eliminated themselves from playoff contention, they're up 4-0 on the Islanders.
On the Islanders, yeah.
After they got pumped for 8 against Philly last night.
Yeah.
But nah, we could start out with the OB thing and then get into like the playoffs. But no, I thought that was super cool that he actually, broke the record on home ice. And to me, it says a lot about him. I believe it was the game before that they played. and they were playing with an empty net, and he told the coach, "No, I'm not going out." And he's like, "You sure?" And he's like, "No, I want to score on a goalie." And he's like, I'm not getting an empty netter for the breaking goal." So kudos to him for, letting that happen. And what was funny is the kid that they just brought in who played, I believe at Boston College or Boston, Leonard. That kid looked like he got shot out of a gun. When the puck popped out the center ice, he just blew past the guy and buried it that was his first point, I believe, in the NHL. So that game was pretty cool, and it was really, to me, like Ovi, like he gets the history and all that, even that he came from Russia, because the last game that they played the Minnesota Wild, he got the players that were going down the tunnel at the end of the game to come back out on the ice and shake hands with Marc-Andre Fleury, because he already said that he's going to retire at the end of the year. And they played each other a ton when he was a Penguin. So he wanted to show his respect for his career. So like they usually only do the handshake in the playoffs after the series, but they all shook his hand and, gave him congrats, which I thought was super cool. And then the Blackhawks did the same thing for Ovi when, he was close to breaking the record or tying the record in Chicago. They shook his hand afterwards. So, and then fast forward to the game that, he did score. I don't know, like they're kind of coasting right now. The Caps are. They have a big lead on, I think it's 11 points on the Hurricanes, and there's only like 5 games left. There's really not a chance they're going to get caught for the top spot in the Metro. So I think they've been a little distracted with the chase for the goal record, because I think he scored, it was 12:34, I think, left in the second period. He scored a power play goal. Can anybody guess where he scored from?
Where?
On the point? No.
Off the face-off dot where he stands on the power play. He just ripped a wrist shot from the top of the circle. But that's like, how Gretzky was always behind the net. That's Ovi's spot. His off wing, right on the face-off, or just on the top of the circle, just waiting for the one-timer. But it was nice wrister. He got a lot on it and beat Sorokin and put it right at, right at short side, I believe it was, up top.
I thought it was a one-timer, but like you said, it was a how it came back to him, and it just, good shot by him, man.
Yeah, he basically drug it from 3 feet from behind him and just snapped a wrist shot. So, I kind of had reservations on how they did this. I get it; it's a huge moment, but they literally stopped the game at that point for almost 20 minutes. And the game was 2-1 at that point. The Islanders.
They had 4 quarters.
But you know what I'm saying? And like the Islanders are trying to get into the playoffs.
Correct.
So they really need the win that game. And it kind of, I get it. And it was super cool. I thought, the fans, they were awesome. They still boo Bettman. You got to love that. And then, Gretzky and his wife, Alex's wife and kids, mother, father-in-law, they were all out there. The owner of Washington, they had a nice ceremony. And I thought, like, his speech, was really cool because, like, he thanked everybody that, he knew helped him get there. His parents, coaches, the whole 9 yards. And, to me, he understood, like, this record is probably one, that might not get broke. Like, it took him 30 or 31 years for somebody to break that record. And I want to say Gretzky, it was almost the same amount of time it took him to break that record. But you got to be very fortunate, very lucky, injuries, health, the whole 9 yards to be able to, play long enough to have a shot at that record. And what I thought was just absolutely crazy is this dude broke his fibula, left fibula, November 18th, and came back. I think he was like 20 or so away from the record. But not only did he heal, he came back and he played this season. Like, I don't know too many sports where someone breaks a leg and they're back in the same season. Maybe baseball, because they play a long time. You know, they play. There's several months to a baseball season.
Yeah, they have long DL stints.
But to break your leg and then come back, and not only come, like, especially at his age, you know, he's 20 years in the league when this happened, and then be able to come back, and then only that, be just on fire, being able to score goals. Like, to me, it's just crazy that he's producing. And like, I can tell watching games, he's not the same player that he used to be. You know, he's a little bit slower, you know, skating, you know, doesn't hit as much. But if you give him the opportunity, he will lay you out. But I thought it was, you know, yeah,
skillful though. I mean,
he plays smart.
You're right.
But like the dude is just unbelievably fit. Like, he'll play a full 2-minute power play and not be winded. And that's hard to do as a forward because you're always moving. Defense, it's a little easier. You can kind of just hang at the blue line while your puck's in the zone moving around. But, you know, the other cool thing about this is he tied the record, I believe, 1 game less than it took Gretzky. And he beat it with the same amount of games played. It was like 1,400 and some.
Yeah, that was cool.
So, like, you see a lot of like, well, you know, this era or whatever, but it's not because he played 25 years. They played the same amount of games, and they both accomplished the same thing, which was score a shit ton of goals. Because, like I said, like, this is one of those ones, like, I know that people are like, oh, hey, Austin Matthews or Connor McDavid, you know, they have shots at breaking this. And I'm like, by all means, they do. They're very good players. But just to point out, I went and I looked at Mario Lemieux's stats. He played 915 games and scored 690 goals. So he played 500 less games and it was at 690. He probably would have blew that out of the water. But the Hodgkin's disease, his bad back, injuries, Adam Graves.
Yeah.
You know, when he played, it was the Tomahawk League, and he broke his arm slashing him. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, even as good as Mario was, like, you gotta be fortunate to stay healthy. And that's a testament to him and how he takes care of himself, which I think is kind of funny because I want to say, like, he has, I think it's Dr. Pepper that I think he has in the water bottle on the bench.
Dr. Pepper? Is
Is
the new BlackBerry or?
No. Like, he was always known for, like, he would drink soda during the game, which I thought I thought was crazy.
Mr. Pibb.
I'm thinking Dan is talking about this is some new Gatorade stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, that's that Russian gas.
Russian gas.
Yeah. Look up Spitting Chicklets in the Russian gas. Those guys got a lot of good stories. But no, that was an amazing accomplishment for him, and now they can focus on the rest of the season, which is like 4 or 5 games, and then
they on top in the Metropolitan, right?
Yeah, they're pretty much just chilling at the top of the Metro with 107 points, and they're 3 points behind the Jets, and maybe they're sandbagging because they don't want to win the President's Trophy. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, you got me with that President's Trophy. I think that is a real thing. I think it is a real thing.
That's what I'm saying. You know, right now the Jets got it with 110. So,
Yeah.
We'll see
You
how
could be
that
right.
works
You
out.
could be right. They might be sandbagging and trying to, hey, yo, y'all take that because y'all gonna flame out.
Hockey's the top 8 for the playoffs, right?
In each East and
conference.
West.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no play-in, right? Just
Well,
the top 8.
No play-in. They do it a little different. So you got the 4 divisions. So in the East, you got the Atlantic and the Metro. So we might as well get into that part now. So right now, Toronto is leading the Atlantic.
48 and 26. Yeah.
So if they retain that and then they stay top of the Atlantic, they will play one of the wild card teams. The Metro, Washington has the top of that league. So basically what Kevin has up, take the Caps and the Leafs, depending on who has more points. So right now, Washington has more points. They would get the lesser of the 2 seeds, like the least amount of points. And then Toronto would get the higher seed of those 2. So it would be like Toronto and Ottawa, and then Washington and Montreal. And then in the Atlantic, Tampa and Florida would play, and then Carolina and Jersey would play. And this is why I hate this, the way they do it now, is it doesn't matter. Like if you don't win your division in your second and third, you're going to play the other team in your division because they want them.
That's trash.
they want it to be a rivalry, right? Well, like if you did it just by straight points, well, now Tampa Bay's second because they got 97. Mm-hmm. Carolina's only got 96. So that means Tampa would get to play Ottawa. So whoever wins the Atlantic, it's huge. Like Toronto, if they want to have a longer run in the playoffs, I feel like they have to win this division. They have to get away from both Tampa and Florida off the get-go. And not that Ottawa's going to be an easier out because they're playing really well right now. But I think you don't want to, if you're Toronto, you don't want to have to play the defending champs or a couple years removed champs in Tampa Bay. You'd rather play Ottawa and then maybe get one of those in the next round.
Right.
So for them, it's huge. And then really mathematically, if you look at this, you got Detroit. If you scroll down just a little bit, Kev, to where they have the line, you see the ones that don't have the little E by their name are still technically in the playoff hunt. So you see the Rangers, the Blue Jackets, the Islanders, and the Red Wings. But they're 8 points behind with 5 to go. So Montreal would almost have to, if they went to overtime and got 1 point, none of these teams can have an opportunity to get in. So the wheels really got to fall off the bus for Montreal, for any of those teams that have a legit shot of getting in. So pretty much I would say that's close to being set. Like you may get, especially in the Atlantic, those teams are like second and third are only a couple points apart, and second and first is only a couple points apart. So it's possible that one of them could, Tampa Bay could leapfrog Toronto, or Florida could get second and have home ice against Tampa. But as far as the teams in the playoffs, that's your teams.
Yeah. So we're about 7 days away from the end of the season here.
Yep.
Okay.
And then your Rangers get to go golfing.
Yeah, they need to.
They
need
to. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool for them to do that.
They can go out and hang out in California with Trouba, get back together, and
yeah. I'm with you on that one.
Dan, the Western Conference, the Blues, they was on fire. They had won 10 in a row. They lost the last 2 here. Tell me about the Blues a little bit. And
so, if you scroll just up a little bit, and look at the bottom of the East for me.
Oh, the East. Okay.
Yeah. What's that number? What number is that? 10? What's the 10th team?
The Boston Bruins.
Huh. Who coached them?
Yeah, I know you're getting that.
Oh, wait a minute.
The gentleman.
There's St. Louis. They're above the bar. They're in the playoffs.
So for the people in the back, who coached?
Huh. Is that Jim Montgomery that's coaching the Blues?
Montgomery, yeah.
So I wonder who the problem was. That's why I always say, like in hockey, you can't fire 21 players. It's always going to be the coach.
Yeah.
Now you can move a couple of them, but you're not going to be able to move them all. So I think he got the short end of the stick on that, but he's done a fantastic job with St. Louis. And that's one team, I believe, that nobody really wants to play once the playoffs start.
They've been hot, dog. 10 in a row. 8 and 2 of the last 10. I think 14 out of something crazy they've been playing. They've been playing well.
Yeah, they've been playing lights out. And I'm trying to – they were what? In the Central – I'm trying to remember.
You talking about the Blues? The Blues are Central. Oh, let me just fix this for you so you can the Blues are in the Central, correct. They're in the Western Central Division.
All right, so just like we talked about with the Eastern Conference. So basically they could bump up over Minnesota as the wild card, but they're not going to catch Colorado for that last spot. Like to get like play against Dallas. But like the Central Division is nasty, bro. Winnipeg, Dallas, and Colorado, all over 100 points. And Colorado went and traded both their goaltenders and replaced them with two different goaltenders, and they got 48 wins this season. You got Ottinger in Dallas, he's a stud, and then Winnipeg's got Hellebuck, probably the best goalie in the league, like statistically this year. So, looking at this, the Jets, they got the most points, so they would play St. Louis, and then Minnesota would end up playing Vegas, and then of course Dallas, Colorado. And like I said before, I hate this system because LA would play Edmonton for the 4th year straight in the playoffs. Like, I want to see him play somebody different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. I mean, they want the whole, inter conference or division battles. I say poo-poo on that. Take the top 8. But that's pretty much set because really the only team that has a shot is the Flames. They're 5 points back and they got 4 to play. So out of possible 8, they have to get all 8 just to get past them.
Gotcha.
Because St. Louis, the way they're playing, there's no way that they lose their last 2 games. They only got 2 games left. They've played 80. So
when the playoffs start, next was it?
Oh, I'm trying to think what the last day of the games are. I think they play this week and next week, I think. And then after Easter, I believe the playoffs start.
Okay.
Because I was looking to see who the Penguins play. Because thankfully he got the record already because they played the Penguins at the end of the year. So,
injury, huh?
Yeah, it'd be one of those things for him to do that, at the end of the season.
Yeah, the playoff starts on April 19th.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ryan.
Saturday, April 19th. Yeah,
the Saturday before Easter.
Yeah,
but yeah, like the whole Ovi thing.
Next Saturday.
It was something to see. But there's some other stuff, records that were broke of Gretzky's this year, and I kind of didn't want to lump it up with the Ovi stuff, but Crosby of the Penguins broke his point per game record. I believe he had 19 years where Gretzky had at least a point per game.
Wow.
And Crosby broke that this year with 20 years. And, that's, mind you, that's per game he played, not per the team. So, because a couple of years there, he had the concussion stuff and was out, but he always had more points than games played. So I thought that was pretty cool because that's another one that's going to be hard to break. I mean, that's a crazy record. Every year you have a point per game.
Point per game. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
And he's still doing it at his age, like 37. I mean, he looks just as good as he did, 5 years ago. But other than that, we got the playoffs coming up. Like I said, I think St. Louis could make a run. They have the Four Nations winning goaltender and Stanley Cup champion Bennington is their goalie.
Yeah, Bennington was crazy in that.
In big games, man. That dude is he's really good. In the Jets, if that's who they end up playing, you got the curse of the President's Cup.
When did that start, man?
It's been like that for a long time. But like the other thing with the Jets is they've had a good team the last few years, but they just can't get through the first round. It's like they're the Toronto Maple Leafs of the Western Conference. They just, when it comes playoff time, it just
forget.
Yeah,
not forget, but yeah,
not forget. It just bad bounce, bad luck, whatever. But like I said, they got one of the best goalies in the league right now. And I was like looking at this, and the Stars Avalanche series should be can't miss TV because, like I said, you got McKinnon. This is what's crazy. So I was looking at the stats. McKinnon and Kucherov of Tampa are tied with 116 points. Makar is leading all defensemen in scoring with 91 points.
Yikes.
And he's going to win the Norris again this year for the best defenseman. And then, even in the rookies, the young kid that plays for Montreal, Wayne Hudson, he's leading the rookie scoring with 64. And then Calabrini from San Jose has got 62. And I believe the kid from Philly who put a couple of points up on your Rangers the other night, he's like third with 59. So, statistically, McKinnon and Makar, they kind of fixed their goaltending problem. That's a scary bunch, especially when it comes to playoff time. And right. You saw, they're adding Brock Nelson, and they got Ignatius from Carolina, and Drury. So they kind of filled in the gaps or their weaknesses. Yes, they lost Rantanen, but I think they're better for it the way they're set up now. So we'll see. I would probably say Colorado comes out of that series just because of Makar and McKinnon. And then Vegas, they should get Minnesota. And that's a hard team to kind of predict because they've been just treading water here because Kaprizov got hurt and he's been out. And if they can get him back for the playoffs, that will change the dynamic of that team, and they would be much better. But they would end up playing Vegas, and Vegas is a tough out. And then Edmonton and the Kings, I would say, even though Edmonton's the lower seed, they probably still beat LA again. So it'll be interesting to see. There's going to be some really good series, especially you figure Tampa Bay and Florida play each other in the first round.
Yeah.
And then you got Carolina and Jersey. So that would be those would be good series. And the best part is when the playoffs start, because it's at least 2 games on a night every night.
For a whole 2 months, right?
Well, the first couple of weeks. And then once you get to the start eliminating teams.
Yeah.
And then it's every other day, every couple days.
Yeah. No, I was just saying the playoffs basically goes on for a good 2 months, man.
Well, that's the crazy thing is that in the NBA. I don't know what's going on, but somehow they keep moving the end of the season later and later. Because I can remember when I was probably, early 20s, we would go on vacation. Me and my buddies would go on vacation to the beach, and we'd watch the finals of the NBA.
Yeah, y'all used to be wrapped up before basketball. Now it seems like y'all wrapping up at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's even later because we would go, end of May.
Yeah, now you're going into June.
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah.
Well, remember too, with the NBA, they extended the All-Star break, because All-Star break used to be just the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you were back playing on Tuesday.
Correct.
That quick. So they extended it to like a full week.
So like Friday, right?
Yeah.
Game started on Friday. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then you have the play-in. So the play-in tournament adds another week to the whole thing. So.
Whole thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Dan, anything else before we transition to our next segment here?
The one last thing I leave it with is, I told you about this earlier. I saw probably one of the craziest things of an ending of a game was the other night when Vancouver played the Dallas Stars.
Oh, yeah.
Dallas scored an empty net goal with 2:21 left in the game to make it, what was it? They were up. They made it 5-3. And then in the last 59 seconds of the game, they gave up 3 goals to Vancouver. And Garland, I think is number 8, he had a hell of a shift because he was, I think, figured in on all 3 of these goals. But they scored with the one goal was 20-some seconds left. They scored the last goal to tie it with 5.2 seconds left. Then it went to overtime, and Garland put a pass right up went behind the net, passed it right up the slot, and they scored to come back and to win it. I think it was 6-5. Yeah, they did that, but they scored 3 goals in less than a minute, which is crazy.
And it's very hard to do
you just get the puck along the boards and put your skates on either side of it, and you don't let them get it. I mean, you just
trying to put people away with the puck.
That's literally what you do. You just eat the puck up and take the time off, because they couldn't even do that.
Nope. When you said that to me, I was like, they should be ashamed of themselves for allowing 3 goals in a minute and change.
But yeah, if you get a chance, on the YouTube thing, Canucks Dallas, watch the last couple minutes because it was absolutely crazy. I mean, credit to Vancouver for giving that kind of effort, even though they can't make the playoffs.
Well, yeah, they kind of lost. Yeah, gotcha. He's Dan K. He's the hockey dude, man. Thank you so much, Dan. Nope, that's the wrong.
Oh, we're done. Good night. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me.
I hit the wrong button.
Yo, man.
Mike Mills, you wasn't on Monday. Just your quick synopsis, and Ryan too, because Ryan, Houston. What went on with the national championship game between Florida and Houston? I'll let Mike Mills go first, give his thing, and then we'll let Ryan get in there.
Man, Houston was my pick, and for how long was the college game? 40 minutes. For 37 of them 40 minutes, boy.
No, 30. No, it was 38. 38.
Well, I got the math for that. Yes.
Yeah, give us the math.
It was 38 minutes and like 47 seconds.
Leading the whole game.
Leading the whole way. The Gators led for all of a minute and 3 seconds. But it was at the end when it counts.
And shout out to LJ Cryer, man, because he was out there fighting against the world. Him and his teammates were shooting bricks, but he was leading, boy. He was trying. But Houston, you got to get a shot up at the end of the game. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what you was trying to run. You call an audible and you get a shot up. You got to at least go to hay with us. You know what I'm saying? At least miss it, but get a shot up.
Yeah,
shout out to Houston.
Yeah.
Florida just outlasted them, and they struck at the right moment, man. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Will Richard over there on Florida, 18 points, 18 big points, man, 5 for 10. Will Clayton, they had him mitigated most of the game, boy. Walter Clayton couldn't hit nothing.
14 in the first half. Mike, 14 the first half when like you said, when Clayton was struggling. If it wasn't for Richards, Houston should have had a bigger lead. So
Facts.
he showed up in that first half, man. Showed up.
Yeah. Definitely. Ryan, your thoughts? Ryan.
No, I mean, my thoughts, man. Like again, sports it's the highs and the lows, right?
Right.
On Saturday, we had an unbelievable comeback against Duke, which we shouldn't have won, but we put ourselves in position to win.
Though.
That was a
great game. Yeah, great game. And the same way we beat Duke is the same way they basically beat us. The last 4 possessions we didn't get good shots. The last 2 possessions we didn't even get a shot. So it's just tough, man. It's tough. You look back on things during the game, like I don't want to. I know it happened in the first half, but the missed goaltending call, that's 2 points. 2 points is 2 points, and we lost by 2 points. But that didn't lose the game. But like Mike said, you just got to get a shot. Who cares if you get blocked? If you get blocked, and again, I know I talked about it. There was different options, different sets within that one play. There was 3 reads. So he was the last read, and you just got to get it up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you get fouled, but you're down by 2. You can't drop the ball and look at the ball while the clock's running out. It doesn't make any sense.
Hey, he was looking for his teammates to help him out.
But there's no time to do that. I would have rathered him get the violation, touch the ball, get the violation. They would have been like 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
And then you can play defense. Remember, they just stole the inbounds against Duke.
How many timeouts did they have? Did they have any left?
Yeah, they had. I'm not too sure about the timeout situation. To be honest with you, I want to say they didn't have any timeouts because they use a timeout to draw up the play. But yeah, you at that point you just have to let it fly, like Mike said. You can't come down with the ball because you think he's gonna block it and you're gonna get, you're gonna travel. So what? Take the shot. Clayton ran out so hard on the contest. He could have fouled you shooting a 3. But you took that away by dropping the ball. And then not only that, Houston is the best team in the nation as far as offensive rebounding and getting putbacks. Put the ball up and maybe Houston crashes the board and ties the game. I don't know, but there's no scenario where you can't get a shot. And that's exactly what happened. And in the possession prior to that, I don't want to pick on Sharp because he was unbelievable. If it wasn't for Sharp, we wouldn't even beat Duke.
I don't get there.
We don't even beat Duke because he's the one who hit that big step, the step in 3. That's exactly what he should have did on that last play. If he's closing on you, you had time. Take the pump fake and step right into 3 and hit it. So he panicked. He just panicked. He panicked, but I'm not gonna sit here and blame the kid, man. He was awesome the whole year. That's just sports for you, man. You can win that way one day and then lose the same way in that same fashion. So kudos, man. And not only that, guys, Houston was 33-0 this season when holding teams under 70 points. 33-0.
That was a crazy stat when you told us that.
Prior to that game, they only lost 4 games. And they only lost 4 games by no less than 4 points. 3 of those 4 losses were in overtime. So they were a dominant team. Now the good thing is, they lost the national championship, but they bring in the second best recruiting class in the nation next year. So they're bringing in 3 5-star recruits that might be like one and done talent. So Houston's finally getting that upper echelon talent. It's just a shame, man. It would have been such a fantastic story. Kelvin Sampson is sitting at 799 wins at 69 years old. He would have been the oldest coach to ever win a national championship on his 800th win.
Wow.
And it's just eerie, the comparisons. So the youngest coach to win was Jim Valvano in 83. And who did they beat? Phi Slamma Jamma.
Yep.
It's just eerie. I'm getting goose pimples. And what really pissed me off during the damn game was when they showed Carl Lewis. Like, look,
you was
look, like,
bad
look.
about that, bro.
I'm not superstitious. Well, no, when it comes to sports, I am superstitious. I'm very superstitious.
I was
I'm
going
very
to
superstitious. Like,
Like I said, it sound like it.
yeah, I know. Like, I'm in denial right now, fellas. I'm in denial. Like,
That's okay.
Then you pick Florida too. You.
no, but Mike, the only reason why I picked them, I was jinx Houston.
You picked your own downfall.
No, every year I pick Houston and they lose. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna pick them. I'm just gonna, I'll pick them to get there.
We'll pick against them.
Yeah, but every year I pick them to win, they don't win. So I'm like, I'm not. So at that point, I'm jinxing them. But I cannot believe they showed Carl Lewis. They don't even like Carl Lewis in Houston. He's like the Spike Lee to your Knicks.
Dang.
No,
New York don't hate Spike Lee. That's crazy.
no, but he's a jinx.
He's a jinx. Yeah, Mike.
I think
he's
Kelvin
a jinx.
Sampson more jinx than him. You know.
Nah. He went to St. John's. He went down to St. John's and jinxed them. So
Kelvin got bad karma. He got violations.
I need the police. I need the police to get Spike Lee out of there.
Him and Bruce got violations. The NCAA couldn't let them win. That's why they got them out of there.
That's a good point. Hey, his Indiana days was shady, man. But we ain't gonna bring that up with him and Bruce Pearl, man. But yeah, man, it was just, hey, it was just a great game, man. A great game. It's tough when you basically led the whole game 99% of the time. It's tough. That's a tough loss, man. That's just it's heartbreaking because, man, 69 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and for not for nothing, if you look at the last 8 years, the Houston Cougars have the best record, have the most wins in the last 8 years. And that's with all those blue bloods. The Houston Cougars have the most wins. So it was just, I don't know, man. It's just tough, man. But the good thing is, Kev, we're in Florida,
Mm-hmm.
I've been to UF plenty of times, you know what I'm saying? A lot of friends from UF. So at least it was them and not like a Auburn or a Duke winning. So, whatever. But yeah, man, but I knew we were done, man, literally we were up 14 when they showed Carl Lewis. And then in the blink of an eye, it was a 4-point game. I'm like, yeah, there we go. So
that's tough.
Yeah, it's just tough, man.
Shout out to Carl Lewis.
Shout out to Carl Lewis, dog.
Don't you ever
Carl
show your
Lewis.
face again.
Carl Lewis snitching on Carl Lewis snitching on everybody. Yeah, just bad karma all over the place.
It could be because y'all didn't let Akeem Olajuwon come up there and celebrate.
That's really what it was.
That's another thing.
That's crazy.
I didn't mean to bring that up. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry.
You got the greatest player in Houston basketball in college and the pros. And
Houston City history. He's the king of Houston.
And not only that, you're in Texas. They're in Senate. Like, how you don't know who Akeem is?
Me and D-Dubs, I won't say, but there's no, me and D-Dubs, we kind of do that for a living, right?
Yeah.
And there's no way. I mean, unless there's with some special instructions like, hey, but sometimes you gotta use just a little bit of discretion. Common sense. I'm just saying, man.
It's Hakeem Olajuwon, not Ron Artest. Let him on the court.
Yeah, right.
It ain't Vernon Maxwell. It's Hakeem Olajuwon.
No, don't do that to my man Vernon Maxwell.
Yeah, shout out to Vernon Maxwell.
He's a wild card. I'm not letting him on the court.
Shout out to Vernon, man.
Wait. Listen, nobody loves Vernon Maxwell more than me, but his name was Mad Max for a reason.
Mad Max for a reason.
Exactly. Listen, Max. Locker room. I can't let you on the floor. Locker room.
Yes, he's Mad Max, and I met him a couple occasions.
Right, but
Dan will tell you why.
But they did end up letting him on the floor.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Sampson came and got him, and they did that.
Again, use some discretion. That was? I don't know. Go ahead.
And the poor guy's just doing his job, right?
Yeah, I get it.
He doesn't have a pass. I get it, but.
Me and D does want to say the dream.
Yeah, that's the dream, kid. You better let that man. Yo,
started talking, brother. Let me on the floor.
Hey, let me tell you something. Rod Strickland came to UNC Charlotte, man. And I told the guy that was down there on the bench watching. I said, "Yo, look out for my man. That's New York City legend right there. Don't let nothing happen to that kid. Whatever he was, he's good. He's good. That's Rod Strickland.
He's coaching now with
I think LIU.
LIU, in Brooklyn. Yeah, shout out to Rod Strickland, man. But
shout out to Rod Strickland.
No doubt, man. So Ryan had to dry his tears a little bit. Hopefully, like you said, with Houston getting some, now they're able to get some of this more NIL money and sign players, because that's the name of the game. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, it's all about the money and the transfer portal. And
they lost somebody in the transfer portal. They lost Arsenal. He's going to transfer.
Gotcha.
But the reason why he's going to transfer is, like I said, because they brought in 3 5-star guys who are going to play instantly. So he probably saw the writing on the wall with that. But yeah, man. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Tough loss.
All right, Ryan. Let's transition. What's going on with the Denver Nuggets, man? The Denver Nuggets. What is going on in Denver?
No, I'm not shocked at all. I told y'all that a divorce between Denver's front office and Mike Malone was going on since 2021.
Yeah,
right. But they've always clashed. Like Mike Malone's a strong personality coach, right? He's a tough coach from Queens. He's just a tough-minded coach. He's not mincing words for nobody. He's gonna tell you like it is. And and mind you guys, the guy, he's been there for 10 years. So it's not like, he's like wasn't a long tenured coach there. So, maybe they needed another voice or whatever. But
can I just stop you right there, Ryan? I heard a stat this morning that Miami's coach, what's his name? Eric Spoelstra and Greg Popovich are the 2 only longest tenured coaches right now with more than, they say, 4 years of experience on the bench. Oh yeah, and Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr was the other one, but that's pretty much it. Everybody else, like you said,
right? But the thing is with like Spo and Pop ain't win one championship. Pop's won 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Spo's won 3, and not only that, Spo is handpicked by Pat Riley. So
the Godfather.
So Spo's like the Godfather to the Godfather. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different situation. And then when you have the GM clashing, because Booth wanted Mike Malone to play the younger kids, but he wanted to play. He was playing Russ a lot, and a lot of the fallout actually happened in that game where Russ missed the layup and then fouled the 3-point shooter. So, but everything was building, right? Like I mentioned, since 2021. They wanted to get rid of Mike Malone. But what happens is they brought him back, and then they had that great run to the championship. So now you can't fire him. You know what I'm saying?
That's another 10 years. That's
right.
Yes, 5 to 10 years.
Right. And then
you can't fire the dude after you win the chip.
Right. And then he had a good relationship with the guys, but sometimes right, winning masks everything, right? We all know that. When you're winning, anything can happen in the locker room when you're winning. When you start losing and catching losses.
Wait, there's one coach that won a chip, and then they fired him too, right? He was in LA. Which one was that?
Well, that's
Damn.
Was it the Lakers?
Vogel.
Yeah,
Vogel won. He won the chip, and then they fired him, right?
Yeah, Frank Vogel, the coach from Milwaukee that's now in Phoenix. That it happens. That happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time. It's nothing new.
But what happens is they started losing. Mm-hmm. So Denver started taking L's and
panic. Sometimes these are knee-jerk reactions.
And it's a buildup. It's a buildup. So yeah, that was no secret that it was tension between the front office and Mike Malone. And then he had a good relationship with the superstars. You know what I'm saying? They said, the superstars are getting preferential treatment. Every superstar gets a preferential treatment. But what they're saying is Jamal Murray is not a superstar to be getting preferential treatment. So that
he's a star. He's not a superstar.
Right. That was not. But again, Joker even came out and said, hey, they came to me and told me why they were doing it. If Joker would have said, I don't want you to fire him. If you fire him, I'm not re-signing ever again or trade me. He'll still be there. He would still be there.
Yeah,
so,
Joker's just pretty much said, yeah, I understand.
Yeah, he just said, I understand. Yeah.
He didn't go to bat for him.
Right.
He said, I understand.
Yeah,
I don't know how to take that though. You know, if I'm the coach, if I'm Coach Malone, I'm like, dog, you didn't say nothing for me?
You ain't got me?
But like you fire your coach with 3 games left going into the playoffs, so you saying you're not winning the chip. So you saying this is null and void. So why even make the playoffs?
Well, no, it's not even about that to me. The thing is, they don't want to happen. What happened in 2022 happened in 2025. They want him out.
So you sabotage. So you cut your nose to spite your face because that's what you're doing.
I mean, but they're already struggling.
Yeah, but you're struggling and you the 4 seed. You know how many teams would kill for that struggle? So you fire your coach. Well, and then what you gonna do? You gonna fire them out the rest of the way?
We gonna say that? I know a team out east that's a 3rd seed, and y'all want the coach gone.
We wanted him gone before he was a 3rd seed. I mean, you know how that movie's gonna end.
Hey, that's a point for Michael. Michael is correct. Yeah.
Where's his championship at?
Right, but what I'm saying to you, Mike, you missed my whole point. What I said earlier, they wanted him gone before they even won the championship.
Yeah, I got you.
But because he won the championship,
because he won the chip,
I get all that, right? I get all that. But it's 3 games left. It's not like this is a mid-season momentum shift. Whatever momentum you get is not going to last long enough for the playoffs right here. It's not going to happen.
They wanted him gone so bad, they'll take a chance with him not winning the championship so they can bring him back. That's how bad they wanted him gone.
This is a stupid move. Just wait till they lose like you know they're going to, because you already know they're going to lose. That's why you made the move, right? You made the move because you already know you're not winning, right? So just let it happen, play the course, and then fire him. Why fire him mid-season?
So then why wait? If you already know you're going to lose, why wait? If there's already tension and there's already tension,
maybe because Mike Malone deserves a little bit of respect.
Exactly. I feel like that's bad business because now if I'm the next guy, half of me is looking at it shady like, so you're going to fire me if it's 3 games, you're going to fire me mid whenever, regardless of what I do.
Well, I could make the point in saying, well, I know we're going to lose with him because, one, he probably lost the locker room, so we're going to lose anyway. We don't want him back anyway, so let's just do it now and see if we can catch lightning in a bottle with this new coach. I can play devil's advocate.
You can play devil's advocate, but we'll see. We're gonna let this play out. I just don't want you to end up like Nico Harris. Go ahead, though.
Oh, he need to get fired too. Him. I got a list of executives they need to fire since they want to fire coaches.
Fire Nico. Hey man,
left on the schedule. Like that's crazy.
Listen, winning, like I said, man, winning cures it all, man.
Absolutely.
Listen, it's gonna happen to Ime. As soon as the
Rockets was Calvin Booth the GM? Let's start there. Why was he the GM? He was terrible.
Terrible where? What you mean?
As a player, he was horrible.
What
you got to GM?
It go hand in hand. Because you're a bad basketball player, I mean you can't be a good GM. I mean,
if you big with slow feet, absolutely.
Listen. We saw the greatest player in the world, Michael Jordan, be a owner, GM, and everything, and he was crap.
Oh, we know he's terrible too.
Well, but he's the greatest player, so that just debunks your argument. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's a point for Ryan.
Every good coach ain't every good coach. Listen, they go hand in hand because
it doesn't go hand in hand. We just saw the greatest guy ever. The guy picked Adam Morrison.
Listen, for every example you give me, I can give you a good player that's a good coach. It goes hand in hand because Jason Kidd was a good player.
Who?
Jason Kidd was a good player.
Yeah, Magic Johnson was a great player.
Tyronn Lue was a horrible player. He's a great coach. It goes hand in hand. It's just something I can look at and tell. Calvin Booth is somebody I can look at and tell.
Okay, well, Ryan is 2 points for Ryan, but one more thing before we get. I've been hearing the rumblings of Chauncey Billups. I don't know what it looks like for him in Portland.
He's going
to.
They wanted him out since after his rookie season, his rookie year. They wanted him out.
Chauncey.
Yeah, they don't believe in Chauncey. They knew they were rebuilding, so they brought somebody in, just like how the Rockets did with Silas.
Yeah,
like we'll just give
him a job, give him something. Yeah. So he's the Walking Dead right now, so he'll be walking out of there.
and Portland's playing well. Portland's playing all right. They're not playing bad at all.
Definitely utilizing his pieces the right way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like Chauncey. You know,
as soon as they take another step, Chauncey's up out of there.
Yeah,
they're gonna get rid of him so fast. You know
so does Denver want this coach that they got now? Is he the guy that's going to be? Is he the it guy, or they going to be looking around?
That's what Rick Adelman's son.
So, yeah.
So.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. God, Mike,
all night.
What did I do?
Another bad player.
Because they just Adelman used to coach the Kings, right? That's Adelman. Yeah, hell no.
Yeah, and the
ABP, ABP.
Adelman was ahead of his time, right? But I don't see that shit.
Yeah, but they got a bad some bad calls against the Lakers. I mean, I still don't understand how a team shot 31 free throws in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
that was crazy. That game 7 was nuts. It was crazy. But I mean, yeah. But to answer your question, D-Dubs, nah, I don't think he's gonna be the one neither.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's gonna be the one. I do. The coach in Memphis though, they love him.
They love him.
When they fired their coach and brought in the other guy, they like him.
They like him.
Who's that coach?
I forgot his name, man.
He also likes gunplay and bomb throwers or grenade throwers.
Yo, what is up with Ja Morant, bro? Like,
somebody told me.
Hey man, I'm gonna leave that man alone, man. Obviously,
he really didn't learn.
I'm gonna leave him alone.
Instead of guns, he's throwing grenades into the stands.
Pack him up, man. He gotta go.
He's gotta go, man. Like, come on, man.
He's gotta go.
Oh, it took that for y'all guys to get around him.
Listen, no. When he got, let's check Twin Box. When he got suspended, right, the second time,
I told you guys to wrap
half the season. I said it should have been half the season. I felt like he got up too late last time. That's why he's doing this foolishness. Somebody was like, "Oh, Buddy Hield aimed at him first." I go, "Cause that's basic. He know this is an idiot. I know I can do whatever I want, so I'm gonna aim at you, and now you throwing grenades. Get him out of here."
But also, Buddy Hill didn't get suspended for gun toting on the internet and doing all that stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
he can't do that. Ja Morant can't do that. And basically, I was like, he ain't gonna learn until he learned, and then everybody's gonna be poo-poo and crying that
it's just a gun gesture. What are we talking about, guys?
Shout out to Miss Harden for checking us out. Thank you, Miss Harden. But it's definitely crazy. Talk about the game a little bit last night, Ryan. Luka going back. He's getting he scored 45 points last night. 43.
Luka?
Yeah.
Oh, it was amazing, man. Like, the tribute was awesome. It was a bit much though. I'm like, God,
a bit much.
The tribute was like 5 minutes long. I'm like, golly, man. I'm like,
if you loved him so much, why did you trade him?
Man, like,
they did it like somebody trying to get their girl back the way they had that video going.
Let me tell you,
the man is crying.
Luka crying. He like, yo, I'm gonna kill him as soon as I get on this court. I'm gonna cry, but I'm gonna kill him.
Listen, one thing that caught my eye about that game, Luka was amazing.
Yes, absolutely. He played.
I mean, but Luka's always fantastic. Everybody makes a big deal. Oh, he's not in shape. The way he plays, he needs that kind of body. I'm like, what do you want him to lose 50 pounds so he can't take the abuse? And he plays at his own pace. He likes the contact. So I don't understand. Okay, he drinks too much beer, smokes too much hookah. I get that. Luka Dončić or whatever they want to call him. But what caught my eye during that game was,
go ahead, Ryan.
Where was AD?
Yes, Ryan. Oh my God, I said that. I said nobody brought that up.
Anthony Davis just like you would think like, oh, okay, y'all trade for me. I'm about to bust ass too. Now, granted, when AD first came to Dallas, he was playing awesome and then got hurt. But I was very disappointed in the effort from AD last night. He didn't have a motor. He didn't, What do you say? What?
He's still hurt.
Could be. You're right.
You're not hurt if you're still on that floor. So I don't want to hear that.
They was gonna have to listen, I'm not defending him.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Listen, I'm on your side. That brother always hurt.
But if you out there, you could play.
Remember a week ago they was gonna have to forfeit games because they ain't had nobody.
There you go.
Like,
right.
All right, I'm out there like Kurt Schilling. Like I really ain't supposed to be out here, bloody sock, but I'm gonna go out there.
And all.
Yeah. So like I get it, but like, nah,
Yeah, Brian. To your point, I don't know where he was at. He was a non-factor. Didn't see him at all. Did nothing stood out for me.
And the whole Dallas team, and it could be because it was just the love fest for Luka. So and not only that, the fans was acting like they were cheering for the Lakers.
That was for that I'm gonna call the fans of Dallas stupid because you guys are dumb. Because first of all, y'all should not even showed up. If y'all are so disappointed, why did y'all even show up to this game? If you really want to stick it to this Dallas organization, don't show up. Show them what your dollars.
Because what's supposed to happen in that scenario, right? You give them the tribute video, right? Mm-hmm. And you show them mad love, mad respect. You know, everybody's crying. We ain't wanting to go. But as soon as the ball tips up, you're not on our team no more, fella.
You're not on our team no more. And the fact that they was
they were like
the fact that they was cheering for this man every time he had the ball and shooting, that is unheard of. And they did that.
That was kind of weird.
What I text y'all last night, I said, this is a weird game. This game is absolutely weird.
And I said, yes, this is very weird energy. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ryan, I was saying the same thing all night. I was like, where is AD? And it's just what it is. What else you got for the NBA before we cut out of here, Ryan?
Man, last night, man, I don't know if you guys saw Golden State blow a 12-point fourth quarter lead to San Antonio. Now they're in jeopardy of being in the play-in. They would have been like the fourth or fifth seed if they would have won that game.
And
then take care of business. Now they're an older team, with Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond. Now, some are saying they'd rather play Houston. Yeah, but
no, they don't. They don't want to play Houston.
But my thing is, if you play Houston, that means you're going to have to be in the play-in. Mm-hmm. That's just a lot of tread on those tires, man. So now you don't get that week's rest. If you're in the top 6, you're basically gonna get like a week of rest before the playoffs start. So and that's what everybody's jockeying for, man. And for them to lose that on Harrison Barnes' 3-point shot, and in that fourth quarter, I know Draymond Green's been saying, and he's been playing phenomenal defense. In the last part of the season, and he's hyping himself up for Defensive Player of the Year. He was awful.
You know what? Exactly. You know what? He talks too much. He talks too much for me, and I hope they don't make it. I'm hating. Yes, I am.
But I mean, Draymond's IQ for basketball is through the roof. His awareness.
Draymond's good. I mean, he's a good player.
His awareness for technical fouls and crossing the line is one of the worst I've ever seen.
He's no Ron Artest though. He's not at all. But he plays this game that he against that game against y'all against Houston the other night. I didn't appreciate what he was doing.
He was trying to bait some glue. But the thing is, that's the wrong team to do that to.
Exactly.
You got Ime saying, "Okay, good. This is what we want, guys. We want to get in the scrap." You know what I'm saying? Like Houston defensive stalwarts are just like amazing. You have Dylan Brooks. You got what I'm saying? Ahmed Thompson, Tari Eason, Jabari.
All them boys can run them out the building. Yeah,
and they're young. Then you come in if you want to go big. You can come in with Big Steven Adams. So they just have a mix of.
You got a good mix. They just got to know how to use it.
Yeah, but that's what Houston want people to do. I mean, and I'm not proud of this, but I kind of am.
Go ahead.
Houston leads the league in technicals, flagrant, coaching technicals, ejections.
That's what the Knicks used to be about. Go ahead.
So they want that smoke. So when he's doing all that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then the next play, Sengun bust their ass with that and one, and they came back at him. And then after that happened, the Rockets went on a 12-0 run and then blew him out the building. So
you just gotta make sure Steph don't shoot. He don't shoot that. He don't get hot and start.
That was some really good defense the other night that they had on. Had on Steph, man.
Yo, he scored 3 points. And he got looks too, but
I thought it was
just didn't go down.
when I looked at it, I said, this has got to be a typo. I said, let me go to the next source. I said, damn, he scored only 3 points, man.
Yeah, man. So, right. Yeah. I mean, again, Houston's a young team. They have a good mix of young and vets, but everybody's whole thing about Houston is that they don't have the experience. But one thing, even if you play them, you might beat them. Boy, but they're gonna take a lot out of you for that next round.
You're gonna know who you played. I'll tell you that.
And it's the same thing with Detroit. You know what I'm saying? You might beat them, but they're gonna take a lot out of you. So, in the East, it's pretty much wrapped up on what the matchups are gonna be. With the play-in, with Miami, Chicago, Atlanta, Orlando. But the Western Conference guys, we have it's almost like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a 5-way tie. Almost, you know what I'm saying? It's like 5 teams that have almost identical records, and it's gonna be tiebreakers. The Denver, Clippers, Memphis, Golden State, and Minnesota. They're only 1 game from each other, and some of them play each other. That Clippers Golden State game, guys, at 3:30 on Sunday, that might be a game to see who's in the play-in and who's not in the play-in. So that's an important
That's gonna be
game.
a good one. Okay.
Memphis and Minnesota, I think, plays tonight.
I think that is tonight's game.
That's the late game, 9:30.
It's 9:30 against TNT.
Grizzlies and T-Wolves. That's a huge game.
Yeah.
And not only that, Memphis just lost that outstanding rookie Wells. I don't know if y'all saw when he got undercut and he broke his wrist.
Yeah, when that Charlotte thug went over there and undercut him and tried to take him out.
No, he was playing hard. He didn't mean to do that.
He didn't mean it. He helped him up. He was good.
Right. But that's Wells losing Wells for Memphis is a big loss. He's probably their best defensive perimeter defender, and he's a rookie. He's really good, man. So that's a tough blow. Everybody everybody wants to play Memphis in that first round if they can. Not saying that Memphis couldn't win because Memphis still has Jaren Jackson, Bane, so they still have players. But losing Wells is gonna be huge for them because, like I said, man, he's their best perimeter defender. So we'll see, man. It's gonna be a wild finish, man. Wild finish on tonight, tomorrow night. There's no games on Saturday. And then everybody plays on Sunday. There's a full schedule because of the playoffs. That's the last game of the season. The last day of the season is Sunday.
Gotcha. Yeah. He is Ryan D'Souza.
Pulls up 3-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good. Wins the game at the buzzer.
When's the playoff start? Where they start next week?
The 16th through the 18th, I believe, is the
play-in start. Okay.
The play-in, 16th through the 18th is a play-in, and then it's I want to say either Friday or Saturday, the 19th or 18th. They'll start.
Got it.
Yeah.
Things we missed tonight. Well, didn't miss it. The Knicks, they just lost to the Pistons.
Jesus, they was leading the whole
whole game.
Yeah, but they OG didn't play, Hart didn't play. They benched some guys.
Okay. Man, leave it to Ryan to have a silver lining
on this man.
Go ahead, man.
Context, man.
I heard, like I said, and then getting on this story, I read something this week about how somebody was saying how they were saying, do the Washington Wizards still own the rights to the name the Bullets because they need to give it to the Memphis team?
That's funny. That's hilarious.
That's a good one, right?
That is a good one.
Yeah, the Memphis Bullets.
In my Charles Barkley voice, that boy is a fool.
I've been to Nashville, but I've never been to Memphis. So all my Memphis people, don't get on me. I'm not saying that y'all violent. I've never been there, so I can't speak on it. I'm just telling you what I read. So this, what else we missed here?
So what was that? Mike Lowry here. Chitty chitty bang bang.
Should George Sanders visit the Steelers camp? Looks like this afternoon. Who knows? The Steelers, Dan, I don't know if you heard that. So
I heard.
And they still don't have a quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers still doesn't have a home. So your thoughts, Dan, real quick before we get out of here.
We do have a quarterback. We have Mason Rudolph.
Okay.
That's what we went back to.
Yeah, you're right about that, Dan, because ain't no way in hell Shedeur Sanders is falling to 21 to you guys. I'll tell you that. So
watch the Saints with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would fit him more.
I don't know why the Giants signed Russell Wilson. I'm still befuddled by that.
Me neither.
That just didn't make sense.
Just
if you would have signed him and not Jameis, that would have made sense.
Right.
But signing both of them just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just hoping we get that kid from Ole Miss.
I'm just going to sit and wait.
I'm with y'all. We just gonna see this time. I don't have no jokes. We just.
I ain't got nothing for you, Mike. I can't defend it. I don't know what they doing. To be honest with
I
you,
know y'all puzzled because I'm puzzled.
I am.
Speaking of draft, as y'all got it scrolling down here on the ticker here. East Coast Gridiron. They're gonna join us the Monday before the draft, Monday April 21st. We're gonna have our draft special. This is I think this is like the third year we've done it with them. Second year we've done it with them.
Second.
Collaboration. I love those guys, man. Those guys love football, know football, and like if you was like going to a class, man, like that's not introduction to football. Like they break down film, they terminology, everything. So if you're a football junkie, check out the East Coast Gridiron. They'll be hanging out with us, and we'll be breaking down the draft, and let's see what they think about who's going, what the Giants going to do. I didn't ask them yet because I just want to know when they come on the show in it'll be 2 weeks too, a week from Monday. So on the 21st, 7 o'clock, we're just gonna rock out with them because we had a great time with them last time. We did this with them when we did a draft special, man. So shout out to the East Coast Gridiron, man. Hey, parting shots, man. Shout out for all of those. Shout out to all the newcomers that was watching with us tonight, man. We've been getting a lot of subscribers, man. Thank y'all so much for hanging in with us, checking us out, man. We really appreciate us, man. Tell somebody on Mondays and Thursdays, man. We're live. Come in here. Come get into the comments. We try to answer them all. As you can see, man, we shout people out, man. Like I said, next week, we giving away a T-shirt. We're going to do some sports chases. Our first time trivia. I'm going to put a trivia question up there, and first person that responds in the email box with the correct question, of course, you will get a T-shirt, and I'll respond back of where I need to get your information so we can send that T-shirt to you. So we're going to do that next week, man, because we got some new merch. We got some hats right here. I don't have anything else on as far as merchandise, man, but they got windbreakers. They got...
You go to the website. Go to the website.
Sports Chasers Podcast. They got all that stuff. They got beanies and all. What you got over there, Mike Mills? Mike got got the hoodie on and stuff like that. But the new hoodies, that's the old one. The new hoodies are very dope. So make sure you check that out, man. Hey, party shots. We'll get out of here. Thank you. Like I said, thank you for all those that was rocking with us here for the last 2 hours. We appreciate you, Mike Mills. What you got for us for the party shot?
2 hours on a Thursday. Look at that. But shout out to everybody tapping in. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, wherever you watching that, Instagram, Twitch, wherever you watching that. Shout out to you. Shout out to our fellow chasers who couldn't be here tonight. Shout out to them. And shout out to Kevin Willett, the new head coach of my Villanova Wildcats. We sat through a couple years in Neptune and we gave him a chance. And now it's your turn. Please fix this program.
The same Kevin Willett that just left Maryland the way he did?
Yo, that's because Maryland ain't want to spend no bread. He ain't got to worry about that over here. The Catholics got money. And
yo, he did call him out. He said, yo, I gotta bounce, man, because y'all. He said, yo, y'all football school. What y'all trying to be, man? So
y'all don't even got a practice facility. You got us hooping in the auditorium. I don't want to hear that.
Only thing I didn't like when he said to his players, he said goodbye to them on Zoom. I thought that was whack. I think he should have absolutely met them, told them, man, face to face, man. But that's just me. Anything else, Mike Mills, before we get out of here?
Nah, that's it. And let's go Mets. Keep treading water.
Shout out to the Mets. Dan and Hockey Dude. Dan, so good to have you back. I feel like I didn't see Dan in months on here.
Good to be back. Shout out to everybody at home watching in the comments. Appreciate all of you. Shout out to DA and Angry One. Missed you guys tonight. But, yep, I'm ready to kick the can down the street, get these last couple of games done, and get to the NHL playoffs.
Gotcha. Thank you, Dan. D-Dubs, what you got for us, sir?
Yeah, I'm with them, man. I'm trying to get to this, get down the stretch and see some of this good playoff, both hockey and NBA. So, nothing heavy. Good show tonight, guys. Appreciate you guys. Shout out to the DA and the Angry One, and we'll see y'all on the next time around.
Yep. Nothing heavy for me tonight. Like I said before, man, shout out to all those that's our new people that's coming in, that's checking us out, man. Hey, man, come to the live show. Like I said, on Mondays and Thursdays. Mondays, we're live shows. 7 o'clock. Yeah. Thursday, we're here at 7:30 p.m. We also do interviews too, man. Those interviews are not recorded live. They're recorded. Go to the interview playlist, man. We talk to everybody when we talk in the realm of sports, man. We were talking to doctors, some attorneys, all within the realm of sports, man. So it's very interesting, man. Yes, we talk about sports, but we also, dig a little bit deeper when it comes to some of those things, man. So we're going to talk to a sports agent here that we met here, trying to set that up. Talk with her and a couple more hockey player. Me and DA talked to the gentleman. His name is Jack, man. Jack was a very interesting guy, man. Check out that interview, man. That was pretty cool, man. But I don't have anything else. Make sure you enjoy your weekend. All my golfers, man. Make sure you check out the Masters and enjoy the Masters. We'll see who can get the win. Who will make the cut tomorrow on Masters Friday. So listen, we're going to get on out of here. Listen, on behalf of myself, I'm Kevin L. Warren, in the absence for the Angry One, James Eric Warren, and for the DA. And shout out to my dudes for Ryan, who got kicked off. It looks like here. I didn't kick him off. Technically, he got kicked off before anybody started any mess. I kicked him off. No, Ryan he got booted by mistake. It looks like for D-Dubs, for Mike Mills, for Dan K, the hockey dude. Yo, this is the Sports Chasers podcast. Y'all be good. Y'all be great. Y'all be blessed. Hey, we'll catch y'all Monday night, man. Y'all be good. Take care. Peace.
That's a wrap for today's episode of the Sports Chasers podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms, and connect with us on all social media channels for exclusive content and updates. We'd also love for you to join the conversation, share your thoughts, and become part of the Sports Chasers community. And remember to tune in next time for some more real sports talk.